Hey church family, welcome to this week's sermon in a soundbite. I attempt to put this week's sermon into 5 minutes. So last week we talked about how the story of Lazarus is calling us out of the tomb of COVID, how we need to shake off this COVID cocoon and emerge brighter as a beautiful butterfly. And this week I want to talk about how Jesus took time to get to that place of Lazarus' resurrection, so it is okay for us to take our time as well. And so I don't know about you, but I struggle with hurry, okay? I want to do everything quicker, I want to do it faster, I want to squeeze as much in as I possibly can. And John Mark Comer's book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, is a continual challenge to me. But I am getting better. I am gradually being healed of my hurry sickness. And that is kind of coming off me. One of the things that hit me from John Mark Comer's book was the comment that Jesus was never in a hurry. And I found that a really, really interesting concept. And you know what? I think he's right. Now, in this story of Lazarus, we see Jesus not only not being in a hurry, but being in a total anti-hurry. We read in verse 5 of John 11, it says, "Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days." So, be really clear, he really, really loves them, but he's staying exactly where he is. Now we know that Jesus could have just said the word and healed Lazarus, but actually Jesus took his time for a greater purpose and for greater glory. In fact, he actually took his time so much that you could almost see it was deliberate that he was allowing Lazarus to die. Which, seriously? And not only did he take his time before he got up and left for Bethany, but when he actually got to Bethany, we see him taking his time there as well. When he got there, he didn't run to the tomb to raise Lazarus. He didn't run to the family's house. He actually just hung out in Bethany for a bit. It wasn't a particularly big village. He just hung out a bit there. And Mary and Martha had to go and find Jesus. He was so relaxed and so chilled and so taking his time. It challenges me right to the core. But he also explains why. He says in verse 4, there is no verse floor and there is no verse ceiling, just a verse 4. He says, "It is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." No matter how hard a delay can be when God's involved, and no matter how hard a situation can be, it's a bit like, seriously, God, when are you going to turn up? When are you going to do what I need you to do? Jesus says here, and he says it over every situation where you're waiting for that answer, that if you allow it, it can be for God's glory. He says again in verse 14, he says, "For your sake I'm glad I was not there, so that you may believe." He allows challenging stuff in the hope that if we can believe in those moments, it will be a strong, firm belief that will get us through. Listen, Jesus took his time in getting to that place of resurrection. And I guess I wanted to just send the pastoral message out to you as a church, that if you need to take your time before you emerge brighter, that's okay. If some of you're run out of the grave kind of people, aren't you? You've already had loads of people around, you've been to restaurants, you've been to bars, you've got your summer holidays booked, everything's sorted. Yeah, you might be one of those people. I am. Great, let's get on with it. But others won't be. Some of you've got serious anxiety about coming out of the COVID tomb. You're going to be some of the last people that come back to church, some of the last people that go out socialising, who are going to just take another year of no holiday or whatever, just to make sure everything's okay. Listen, the main message, delay is okay. Jesus shows us that. It's fine to take time. It really is. But staying in the COVID tomb is not an option. So no matter how fast or how slow you get out of the tomb, the important thing is you come out of the tomb, and just like Lazarus did, you emerge brighter and more glorious for his kingdom and his glory, because that is where full life is found. There we go. One sermon in about 5 minutes. I have no idea how long this has taken, but that's as quick as I can do it. God bless you.